So I have been nursing a brutal cold for the past week, and I finally have enough energy today to get out of bed, put some makeup on, and film a video. But I don't have enough energy to do my normal long form content with all the product shots and swatches and application footage, and nobody wants to see my face up close right now because I got a red, flaky, crusty nose. So this is gonna be my first ever Empties video, I think. I'm not an Empties person because I'm super neat and organized. I do not like holding on to anything in my house. I barely own any possessions except for having a lot of shoes. So collecting enough products to do an Empties video was like glitching my brain. But I have a ton of stuff to talk about and I'm really excited about it. So it's just gonna be a kind of little speed review thing if you wanted to know my opinions on candles, a ton of skincare, hair products, body care, makeup, and more. So I'm gonna start with makeup. Okay, the first empty I want to talk about is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have the shade 4.75. I'm wearing it all over my face today. It's the only foundation that I ever wear. It's the only foundation that I own. I don't really count the CL skin tint because that's more of a skin tint with sunscreen. It just serves a different purpose for me. This is the only foundation I own. And I actually just got a comment from a subscriber asking why I only ever use one foundation. And they commented on my winter makeup favorites video. I'll leave it on the screen above if you haven't seen it. It's like all my favorite berry blushes and like bold lips and, you know, berry products and cool tone eyeshadow. It was so much fun to film. So check that out if you're interested in some more like long form content videos. But I answered them, you know, I really like owning a smaller makeup collection and then expanding that collection in areas where I like to change it up. So I only like to own one foundation, you know, one brow pencil, one brow gel, one cream bronzer, one powder bronzer, one face powder, one mascara, and then those are my holy grails. And then I like to add variation with the blushes, the lip products, and the eyeshadow. So that's why I only ever own one foundation. But an Instagram follower actually sent me the Glossier foundation. She said the shade Light 4 didn't work for her, so she sent it to me and I sent her a ton of PR. We did a little product exchange. So now technically I own two foundations. I'm very excited about it. I will be repurchasing this until the end of time. It's my perfect foundation. It's so thin and spreadable, but it's so skin-like. And as you can see, it's not super matte and crusty, but it's not dewy. It just looks like skin and it's really adjustable in terms of the coverage. If you just use a little bit, you can get it to be like more of a skin tint. If you use a lot, it's more of a full coverage foundation. And truly, if you're someone who's trying to buy less products and, you know, not spend as much money on beauty, if you just own one foundation that's on the more full coverage side, that can do everything you need it to do. Mix it into moisturizer and it's a tinted moisturizer, or mix it into, you know, a liquid bronzer and then it can be a little bit darker and the shade can be adjustable. Or if you want it to be more matte, you can mix it into a matte primer. And then if you use it on its own and use a lot of it, it can be a full coverage foundation. So really, you just need one foundation. Let me tell you, this trash can is gonna be full by the end of this video. That's how many empties I have. I gotta move quickly. That was too long. Okay, next up, I have my beloved Fitglow Concealer, my holy grail concealer. I'll link a video on the screen above, one of my many videos where I talk about why this concealer is so phenomenal. It's so good, it's full coverage, it's tacky so it stays in place. I find that if I only use a little bit, it doesn't crease, it's antibacterial, and it really sticks to blemishes because of that tackier finish. And in that concealer video that I linked on the screen above, I compared it to a lot of other formulas, and when I swatched them all on my arm, this was the only concealer out of every concealer that claimed to be super hydrating that didn't dry down. It was the only one that stayed bouncy on my skin. So the proof's in the pudding. I almost never finish lip products because I do own so many, but Charlotte Tilbury Happikiss and Pillow Talk, that bad boy is donezo. I was just like scraping out the remnants on the bottom because it's my favorite lip product. And if you missed my big glossy Melty Balm deep dive, I'll link that on the screen above. This was one of the winners from that video. I compare a ton of glossy melty lip balms in that video. And I just love that this feels like a really thick, really occlusive kind of lip mask. It has a subtle but like totally addictive vanilla scent. And this Pillow Talk is the best Pillow Talk that Charlotte Tilbury offers because all the other ones seem to be like a little bit muted or like sometimes gray, sometimes a little bit mauvey. This one has more pink in it and I think it's by far the most flattering Pillow Talk. Yeah, you know I had a backup of this ready to go, so need it in my purse at all times. If you know me, you know that it is rare for me to go through an entire container of perfume, even a travel size, but this is my daily signature scent. It's the Commodity Gold Personal Travel Size Perfume. Oh, I love this so much. I get compliments when I wear it all the time. And it just smells like the creamiest, most natural vanilla combined with a little bit of musk and a little bit of cedar wood. So it's not overly sweet. It's a very sophisticated kind of vanilla. I love the way that this smells. I already had a backup of this and I have a full size. That's how much I love it. You will definitely see me featuring this in my big vanilla video that's coming soon. So I have 5 candle empties and all of them are my all-time favorites. So one of them is the Hotel Lobby candle in New York. It's my favorite hotel lobby candle. This brand is on the pricier side for candles. I tend to stay around the like $25 to $40 range usually. This is $54, but I love it. And I love that hotel lobby candles have the perfect Goldilocks throw. It's not too strong, but it's not too light. And the notes are amber, sweet sage, cedar leaf, and patchouli. Normally I hate patchouli, but it's patchouli in a way that makes it really sensual. It's kind of like patchouli's in the background and it just smells smoky, a little woody, a little like herbal. And then there's this like sweetness that really cuts through all of that. So it's totally unisex and it totally reminds me of sitting in the Gramercy Park Hotel lobby bar. And that was like a huge highlight of my college experience at NYU. It's interesting. It really does feel familiar and unique at the same time. So I will definitely be repurchasing this. Oh, this fucking cold. Oh God. Ugh. Stay safe out there, guys. The colds are going around. I also finished up one of my most repurchased candles, which is Dyad Pins and Needles. And the website said it's a woody fragrance with hints of pine, eucalyptus, and musk. This fragrance will remind you of a brisk winter night in the woods. So the top notes are green bay, pine cone, and black currant. Middle notes are pine needle and blue eucalyptus. Base notes of balsam wood, pine wood, and sheer musk. It's like the most sophisticated Christmassy winter kind of scent you've ever smelled because that eucalyptus, I think, really adds this freshness to it so that it's totally year-round appropriate. And combined with some of the woody notes in here, it just makes for the perfect, like, I live in the woods kind of candle because I do. And it just makes me feel like I'm enveloped by the big redwood trees here. And it's a candle that I will always associate with living in Garberville. So it's a very special scent to me. And this is the #1 candle I get compliments on when people come and visit. It is so fresh and addictive. So if you're the kind of person who loves those Christmas tree smells, but you want something that isn't like Christmas tree punching you in the face, that's something a little bit more year-round appropriate, Dyad Pins and Needles is my absolute favorite. And I have a coupon code now. I think it's 15% off with the code KATE15. Yeah, KATE15. And I emptied my second favorite Dyad candle, which is Smoke and Mirrors, and it's their take on a smoky marshmallow scent. The website says it's a woody fragrance with hints of vanilla, roasted marshmallow, and smoky sandalwood. It feels like roasting marshmallows over a wood-burning fire after a long winter day, playing in the snow and watching a feel-good flick. So the top notes are green apple and roasted marshmallow. Middle notes are spicy cinnamon, wild patchouli, and vanilla bean. And base notes are cedarwood, gaiac wood, and smoky sandalwood. Yeah, so it's smoky, it's sweet, it's creamy, it's woody. It's so good. You might smell the cold throw and first be like, oh, that might smell a little too sweet for me. The cold throw does smell a little bit like marshmallowy, but once I start burning it, the complexity comes out and it's such a well-balanced fragrance. They use coconut wax and the Dyad candles are $44, so definitely a little bit more affordable than Hotel Lobby. It's also a woman-owned small business, just like Hotel Lobby, and it's run by the Garso twins, who also have a YouTube channel. I'll link them in the description box so you can check them out. They really know fragrance. Like, Dyad is just such an underrated company. If you are a candle lover, just do me a favor and just look into them because they're incredible. They make some of my all-time favorites. Another one of my most repurchased candles is Sweetwater Decor Warm and Cozy. This is a brand you can get on Amazon Prime, which I really like, and their price points vary because they have a bunch of different sizes, but it ranges from like $19.99 to $39.99. This is their 11-ounce candle, and I think this one is around like $29. They use soy wax, and this is the scent you should go for if you want that kind of Christmas tree freshness, but you also want something that's a little bit spicy and a little bit of that like holiday gourmand smell. It combines both of those things into one incredible fragrance. So their website says that this was actually voted best fall candle overall by Forbes 2022. It'll take you to a place by a warm fire with cozy blankets and your PJs, enjoying the scents of the season. Top notes are orange peel, cinnamon, and ginger. Middle notes of clove and cypress. Base notes of vetiver, pine, and fir balsam. Fresh, it's crisp, it's Christmassy, it's spicy. It's just so warm and cool at the same time. And the juxtaposition between those two notes or those two like scent experiences, chef's kiss, favorite candle. I love it. I love it so much. I've been collecting my empties since the summertime, and over the summer I used up my all-time favorite summer candle. It's Mizensir's Menthe Aloe candle. It's $75, so definitely on the pricier end of what I like to spend. I received this in PR. Normally I wouldn't like blind buy a more expensive candle, but they sent this to me and I have repurchased it several times since then, and it's so good. It's essentially just like mint ice water. Doesn't that sound amazing? It's so crisp and so fresh. So their website says green green, white, blue, mint of streams, sweetened, iced, thirst quenching, crushed or pebble weaved leaf. Mint in all its states always puts us back by its green, aromatic, and exuberant grace to the heart of life. Whatever that means. The glass of mint squash is eternal and essential. Okay, whatever you say. Anyways, it's basically like a glass of ice water with mint, and I feel like there's something floral in there as well. It's not just like mint and water. There's some green notes in there as well. It is just the ultimate spring and summer fragrance, but for me, it's fresh enough that I really can burn this year round, and it's something I would burn more in my bathroom or something like that. But I do like sometimes associating certain scents with certain seasons to kind of get me excited. So I do tend to burn this in the spring and summertime. Let's move on to hair. So this is probably my third empty of the Living Proof Triple Bond Complex Hair Strengthener. And while I haven't personally noticed a difference in my hair, my colorist has, and she said my ends look so much healthier. She's noticing less breakage, and that is great news because I basically had to stop bleaching my hair. I've gone to this darker color now to give my hair a little bit of a break. And if my hairstylist says that it's working for me, then it's working for me. And what I like about it is it's so much easier to use than the K18. The K18 mask I just felt like was a little bit of a pain in the ass. You had to wash your hair, not use conditioner, then apply the K18. And I just feel like it made my hair feel like straw. I didn't notice any difference. This is so much easier to use. You just do your normal shampoo conditioner routine, apply it onto clean damp hair, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then you can style as usual. So it's a lot more user-friendly than the K18, and apparently I get good results from it. My hairstylist also recommended the Mr. Smith Volumizing Shampoo as a color-safe option. Formula-wise, I really like it, but I don't like the fact that it's in this very small container and it's pretty expensive. I think it was $30+, maybe $35. And this little bottle also has a small pump that barely pumps out enough shampoo. So I would just be like standing there in my shower, like pumping 3 times. And I don't like that. I prefer shampoo bottles that either pump out a lot of product at once, or I can just squeeze them onto my hand. And so I just found this kind of annoying to use. There's so many color safe shampoos out there that, you know, this didn't like wow me enough for me to repurchase it again. If it came in a value size bottle, I might consider it. But you know, L'Oreal has started sending me some hair care products recently, and I'm using their bond strengthening shampoo and conditioner. And so far that's been working really well. So I think I'm a drugstore hair girly now. I bought the Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate Conditioner from Abby Young's recommendation, and it's a great conditioner. That's something I also started incorporating alongside the Living Proof like bond repair thingy lotion, the thing I just talked about. And this is fine, but I would say for me, it's a little heavy on my hair because, I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's pathetic. That's how big my ponytail is. Are you kidding me? So I need products that aren't going to really weigh my hair down. I only use this from the ear point all the way to the ends of the hair. And it was a great conditioner. Like I really like it, but it's just, I think the L'Oreal shampoo and conditioner are working great for me and I'd rather save money. I will repurchase this until the end of time. The Moroccan Oil Dry Shampoo Dark Tones is my favorite dry shampoo. I don't see a difference between the dark tones and the light tones. So if you've been considering between the two, I really don't think it matters. This doesn't leave a significant white cast in my hair and it smells so good. I love Moroccan oil scents and their hair products are never overly fragranced. My biggest issue with most hair care companies is that there's too much fragrance in them. So I really can only rely on a handful of brands and Moroccan Oil is one of them. But I also like this formula because it doesn't leave my hair feeling too gritty. You know, a lot of dry shampoos can add some grit and some volume into the hair, which is great, but a lot of times they do it in a way that makes my hair feel a little bit dirtier. This feels like it cleans my hair and adds a little bit of texture without adding too much grit that it really like weighs it down. So this would be my favorite aerosol dry shampoo. Okay, I turned my lights on. I hate my artificial lights because I don't have the experience and the knowledge to understand how to make them still look natural and make the makeup pop. It just looks super harsh, so I hate relying on them, but it was getting hella dark in there. Next up, we have the Nécessaire Deodorant Gel, fragrance-free. I've been through a ton of these. This is the only kind of like alpha hydroxy acid based deodorant that doesn't leave me with a legit chemical burn under my arms. The Saltair one, the Kosas one, I've tried a couple of them and they've all left me with a huge rash under my arms, which was not very fun. So I like this one because it's effective but gentle, and the idea is that a chemical exfoliant can kill the odor causing bacteria under the arms. And let me tell you, I hate to say this, but I'm a sweaty bitch and I smell particularly bad when I'm stressed and sweating. So on travel days, like anytime I'm on a long airplane, it doesn't matter if I'm cold. If I'm like wearing a sweater, I will be sweating, even if I'm freezing cold. It's very frustrating. Did a bird just fall? Where'd the bird go? Okay, sorry, I got distracted by a bird. I thought a bird just like fell from the sky, but I think it's fine. Anyways, I'll continue repurchasing this until I find something that I like more. Speaking of Saltair, I finished their Lush Greens body wash and it's definitely my favorite scent from the brand. Heads up, their products are like very heavily fragranced. Particularly their deodorant was so strong that I couldn't even wear it because it was just all that I would smell smell throughout the daytime. And their deodorant gave me a chemical burn, but that's a whole different story. This is beautiful. I think it has notes of pear, lily, and then some type of like green stems. So it's very fresh. It's a little like earthy and herbal, very unisex. It's just so juicy and it smells amazing. It's the kind of smell that I totally want in a body product. Would I repurchase it? Totally. I mean, the Saltair prices are fantastic and the value sizes are great, but I do enjoy changing up my body washes, so I'm probably not going to repurchase it for now. I finished the Josie Maran Whipped Argan Pro-Retinol Body Butter. So this is one of my all-time favorite body formulas, but it's not a body butter in the traditional sense where it's like really thick and it's kind of hard to spread. I will not reach for a body lotion that's difficult to spread because I am so lazy when it comes to taking care of the skin on my body. So I like something like this that has a much thinner kind of whipped formula and a juicy kind of dewy finish. So it is ultra spreadable and it sinks into the skin and it leaves it with a slight dew, but without feeling greasy or sticky, which I love. The only thing that annoys me about this is it's called Pro-Retinol, but there's no retinol in it. I think they use bakuchiol or some type of like plant-based retinol alternative, but I really hate that because you will never get the same results from a plant-based retinol alternative that you will as retinol. So don't market it as retinol. Like that really pisses me off when brands do that. But if you don't care about that aspect, it is a wonderful body butter and it smells great. This is the vanilla bean one, and I do like the vanilla bean one to kind of mask the little funkiness of the scent. Otherwise, the unscented one was like way too funky for me, but the vanilla bean is where it's at. And speaking of Josie Maran, I have their Nourishing Argan Oil Daily Cleanser. This I featured in a fails video. I think it was July fails, and something weird was going on with this formula. 3/4 of the bottle was weird. I would apply it on my face and it would just be so not spreadable. Like it would just stick to one area and it wouldn't spread. So I'd have to pump out like 5 pumps in order to cover my whole face and neck. Once you emulsify it, it was great. It does have a little bit of like a funky citrus smell, not my favorite. But then something interesting happened. When I got to the last quarter of the bottle, then all of a sudden it was delightful and it spread evenly and I didn't need to use 5 pumps to cover my whole face and neck. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm not gonna purchase it. Another cleanser I emptied was the Rephr Gentle Cleanser, and I loved this. It has glycerin, surfactants, green tea, aloe vera, hyaluronic acid. I think it was only around $17.50, which is great. I love this unisex kind of matte black packaging. I love products that look like that, like think original Kosas. That's my vibe. And this just feels really luxurious on the skin. It's a gel cleanser without being stripping. And I just really love the experience of this. It's beautiful. I can totally see myself repurchasing it. I'm currently using the Prequel glycerin cleanser, and that one's really delightful to use, but sometimes I just like changing up my cleansers, so I can definitely see myself repurchasing this in the future, and it's fragrance and essential oil free. Tatcha sent me the Indigo Cleansing Balm, and it's nice, but it's like, how many ounces? 1.9 ounces for something around $35. And it's a great cleansing balm, but it reminds me exactly of the Naturium cleansing balm, which is $18 for 3.4 ounces, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. So for me, like, was it an awesome cleansing balm? Absolutely. Would I purchase that with my own money? Probably not, because I could just use the Naturium, which has a much better value. So kind of depends what you're going for. Like if it's a gift or more of a luxury splurge, then I think it makes sense. But for something this small, it's like, what's the point? And on that note, but times 10 is the Renee Rouleau Triple Berry Smoothing Scrub. I freaking love this stuff. You know, I know everyone wants to hate on physical exfoliants and physical scrubs, but there's nothing like the end of a long day when you've been like traveling for hours and you just feel gross after getting off the plane, and I just want like a good scrub on my face, you know what I mean? And this is my favorite product for that. It is tiny. It's 1.7 ounces, and I remember it's $51.50, which is like not something that I would want to pay for regularly at all, but it really is my favorite physical scrub for the face because the beads are really gentle, but there's enough of the beads in the formula that it really does make a difference. You know how sometimes with physical exfoliants, it feels like the beads are too sparse and it's not doing anything? I hate that. But these have really gentle beads, but there are enough of them so you feel like you're getting a scrub, and it smells like berries. So it's great, but would I purchase this? Because I received it in PR. Probably not. I don't think I would spend $50 on a scrub, even though I love this so much and it's my favorite. You know, it's kind of like I have to prioritize certain things. And for me, I would not prioritize an expensive physical exfoliant. I would prioritize something like, you know, the Tatcha Indigo Serum and Cream Treatment. That's something I'll splurge on because it's like one of a kind. Nothing does the job like that, but I really love the shit. Ooh, another kind of cleansing product. So this was influenced by my friend Devin Justmer, and this is the Peach and Lily Lazy Day All-in-One Moisture Pads. This is my perfect morning cleanse, or my like just worked out kind of cleanse, because they're just little pads and I don't have any left in here, but they're biodegradable, which is awesome. And I just wipe them all over my face face first thing in the morning. It gives me a quick little cleanse, but it's also hydrating and it's got a little bit of moisture in there too. So they basically call it a green juice for your face, which I have issues with that. But there's hyaluronic acid, ceramides, antioxidants, vitamins, spinach, broccoli, carrot, pomegranate, and bamboo extracts. So it's basically your one-stop shop in the morning when you are in a rush to do your skincare. And I really, really love it for that, or like right after you've worked out. And I am on my, I believe, third container of these. Ugh, so sick of being sick. Ugh. Is anyone else with me right now? It's going around. I used up another Sachi Pro Resilience Serum, and this is my absolute favorite serum. This calms my skin down when even water irritates my skin. It's incredible. It has a blend of peptides. It has a ton of soothing ingredients. It's hydrating, and it's got this water-like consistency, but has a little bit of silkiness to it. It's super spreadable. It's around $79, so it's on the pricey side, but when it comes to something like this that is one of a kind, nothing does the job like this, that's when I splurge on my skincare. So the $79 I do not bat an eye at. And they just gave me a coupon code. If you use the code STATEOFKAIT, it saves you 15% off of Sachi. This is the only product I've tried from the brand, so I can't really recommend anything else, but my partner John uses this. He gets pretty intense eczema breakouts around his eyelid, and this really helps to keep that at bay. Ugh, it's a phenomenal product. It's like holy grail, desert island status kind of product. So I've realized throughout the years, my skin cannot handle vitamin C, and it can't even handle vitamin C derivatives. They're just too irritating for me. So after doing a lot of research, especially watching Abby Young and Penn Smith's skincare, they've really recommended copper peptides, and that's the antioxidant that I reach for in my routine now. So I started with the Ordinary Buffet with copper peptides 1%. I've gone through 3 bottles of this and I haven't noticed a difference in my skin, but you know, for me, using antioxidants is more of a preventative measure because it can help prevent collagen breakdown, it can help with pollutants and everything like that. So I'm not necessarily looking for results when I use an antioxidant serum. I think the price point of this is around $30, and what I would say about the formula is it's got a little bit of a tacky finish that I don't love. So I've since switched to the Peach and Lily, I forget what the name of it is, but it's also their copper peptide serum, and that one has a much thinner, spreadable, like silky texture, so I like that one more. I won't be repurchasing this one, but it was a perfectly fine antioxidant serum. Medicate sent me some PR, and this is the product that I decided to try. It's their liquid peptides 30% complex hydrating peptide serum. I sometimes have issues with my skin being reactive to peptides, like the Paula's Choice Peptide Booster really irritated my skin. Sidebar, Paula's Choice has just like fallen off the face of the earth for me because ever since they sold the company, their formulas have been so much more irritating than they used to be. And my friend Vanessa of Goals to Get Glowing on Instagram did some research. She found that their pH levels have changed and now they're more irritating. So I'm just not trying Paula's Choice anymore. And I actually just asked them to remove me from their PR list because their products have been going to waste. And you know, I don't want to waste their resources and their products. I also don't want my skin to be reactive. So long way of saying I really enjoyed this formula. I'm on my second bottle of this and I will continue to repurchase this. It's expensive. I think it's around the $65 mark, if not more. But for me, I have tried so many different peptide serums and most of them have irritated my skin. This is the one that doesn't. And so for me, it is worth it to splurge on something, like I've said a bunch of times, that like stands out, you know? And it has a bunch of different peptides, some that help with expression lines, some that help with fine lines and wrinkles, yada, yada, yada. It has well-aging benefits. And I'll use this one at night. And my skincare routine is as follows. I always, morning and night, will start with the Sachi Pro Resilience Serum. Then in the morning, I'll use my Peach and Lily copper peptides and then my moisturizer and my sunscreen. At night, after the Sachi serum, I'll use the Medicate liquid peptides. Then I'll go in with my tretinoin and then my moisturizer and something occlusive to lock it all in. So that's my skincare routine in a nutshell. But I also got the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Water Cream. This is really nice. This is the little travel size. The thing is, for me, I loved getting this in PR. I love this formula. It's like a combination of a gel cream and a whipped cream. So it has that airy lightness of a more whipped formula, but it has that dewiness and the lightweight quality of a gel cream, and it is hydrating and occlusive enough. Normally gel creams just don't do it for me. And I would use this at night because it does have a dewier finish, and during the daytime, I like things to have a little bit more of a soft matte appearance. And what's great is that it's fragrance and essential oil free. Most Charlotte Tilbury products are very heavily fragranced. It's just that I think this little travel size was like $30 something, and then the bigger size is upwards of $100. I ain't gonna spend money on that on a formula that's relatively basic. So thank you for the PR, Charlotte Tilbury. But you know, for me, where my budget's at, it doesn't stand out enough for me to spend that kind of money. I've gone through so many Glossier After Balms. It is like a super, super thick, rich cream mixed with a balm. So if you're the kind of person who doesn't like using Vaseline, Aquaphor, or the CeraVe healing ointment as an occlusive layer to do the slugging method, you still could use something like this because there's a little bit of that balmy quality to it. I find it totally locks in and seals all the hydration in and prevents from transepidermal water loss. It's also fragrance and essential oil free, and it's approved by the National Eczema Association, which is great. Personally, I've been really enjoying the Prequel Barrier Ointment. I forget the name, but also the Experiment Buffer Jelly. So I've been using those right now, but I can totally see myself switching back to this at some point. It's beautiful. And lastly, I have the Elta MD UV Physical Broad Spectrum SPF 41 Lightly Tinted Chemical Free Active Ingredients Oil Free with Antioxidants Transparent Zinc Oxide UVA UVB Protection Water Resistant 40 Minutes Facial Sunscreen. It's a long ass name. This was nice, but for me it's just a little too dewy. I used it up and I use it on days when I'm not wearing makeup, which is very rare because if you're new here, I got a corporate job. I have a volunteer position at a radio station. Like, I'm teaching myself guitar. I'm running this YouTube channel. I do not have time to ever film content. So if I get a break between work meetings, I'm, you know, quickly filming my videos, which means I'm pretty much wearing makeup all day, every day. I don't have the luxury of being a content creator who can do batch content, which means you take like 2 days and film a ton of YouTube videos and like 20 Instagram reels and TikToks. I don't have that luxury because I'm just constantly in Zoom meetings for work. So I gotta film where I can. And for me, I just like to wear a soft matte sunscreen every day. I wear my Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. And I'll show you what this looks like on the back of my hand so you can see the tint. It's really hard to find proper swatches and pictures of Elta MD sunscreens online. So you can see it there. It's really close to my natural skin color, which is rare for me. Usually tinted sunscreens are straight up orange or are too dark. So this is a really good color. It's nice and thin, beautiful, beautiful texture. It's so spreadable, but it's just a little too dewy for me. So in the trash she goes. I hope you like this super casual, informal video. Let me know if you want to see more things like this, or if you like sticking to my normal long form content, that's totally okay too. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.